Is the hospice wife the best option for a man? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now. What up, what up, what up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. Welcome back to the channel. It's to smoke something, drink something, podcast. I'm the real Cigar Jeff. All of my information is below in the description, man. Make sure you follow your boy on the socials. But y'all know I had to come back at it real fast, man. Tonight we are talking about the hospice wife. And if any of y'all ain't heard of that, prior to yesterday, I hadn't either. But my resident relationship expert said, Jeff, here go a podcast topic for us. She said we need to get into this thing. Feature was today. So y'all know we got to dissect this thing for y'all and get down in the comments, man. Let us know what y'all think about the hospice wife and all that kind of stuff. But is it the best option for men? So we gonna hop right into this thing. But before we do, y'all know I gotta introduce my resident relationship expert. Let y'all know who she is and what she's sipping on tonight for the podcast topic.
Thanks for having me back, JB. Shout out to the 40th anniversary of Purple Rain. Y'all cleans your soul in the lakes and Minnetonka, whatever they call it. I'm sipping on my rum haven and pineapple juice tonight. Just kept it simple.
You got the hospital straw.
Just kept it simple for tonight because this topic, I don't know what's gonna happen. It's gonna be what it is.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Now, guys, all of her social media stuff gonna be down in the description, man. Y'all make sure y'all go give her a follow, man, and just keep praying until she accept. One day she gonna accept. And of course, man, I'm going back to the Cigar City Punch Robusto right here. Got that. Just think it's smooth cigar. Cigar City, #1 brewery in the country, basically, right here based in Tampa. So I had to get that. Y'all know tonight I'm drinking. I saw this. Just so y'all know what it is. Yellowstone bourbon. Okay. Yellowstone bourbon. This is my first time trying this out of Lebanon, Kentucky. And the first couple sips and already got me sweating. It's the toasted. It's the toasted version. And because I'm I don't know what I'm fighting, whether I'm fighting allergies or whether I'm fighting COVID. I got my hibiscus. I got my hibiscus, not my hibiscus tea, but my herbal tea.
So is that from Yellowstone show?
No, because Yellowstone is, I want to say, out west. So I don't know if it's this is 7th generation
TV show, but the TV show.
I don't think it's from the they're out of Montana, but I don't think that's if y'all
all that kind of stuff.
It might be. I just saw it I saw toasted and I got it. So y'all be patient with me. Y'all gonna hear me opening these halls. I got my water, got my cold mist humidifier over here to the left. We got a whole scenario going on up in here, but we gonna jump right into this thing. Rhonda, you sent me the text about this. And before I show the video, guys, of what Rhonda sent me, because it's going viral on social media.
Oh, it has?
Rhonda, what piqued your interest about this?
Well, for one, it showed up on my feed, and after the day that I had that other day, I could see how that mess could apply, #1. But it piqued my attention because I want to say it was very specific to a certain age group of men. But I also know it could apply for anybody, to be honest, that that may be in any type of condition. But it just had me thinking, like, man, that's messed up. It's just messed up. And you know my word I like to use instead of messed up. But it was also interesting at the same time. I just thought it made a good point because it was a very small clip. So that's why I was like, man, maybe this is something we could get into because I don't know that much about it. But I thought it was an interesting topic.
And y'all hear what Ron is saying. That's something we can get into now. I want y'all to understand that once Ron starts saying, let's jump right into this thing, it's going to be on now. And y'all get down in the comment section. You know, let us know what y'all think about it. I'll tell y'all what I thought. When I first saw it, I said, "Uh-oh, marriage don't need another blow. Marriage does not need another obstacle." And Rhonda, when I saw this video that I'm about to play for y'all, I said, "Uh-oh, this is another reason for a man to not get married early." Like this is another reason. Rhonda's gonna tell y'all, right? Because this is a specific video. But as soon as I saw it, this is the worst thing for a woman. That if a man is not trying to get married early, it affects women more than it affects the man. And now when you start talking about men waiting to get married, and this, we're gonna get into this a little bit in the podcast. If men are waiting to get married, men aren't going to marry the woman their age when they get married if they want to get a hospice wife. You see what I'm saying, Ron? They gonna marry somebody younger.
Yeah,
So now all of a
do.
sudden, they going younger because they're not gonna have somebody their age to try to be with them in the quote unquote broken down years. So y'all, we gonna go over this, Rhonda, because Rhonda sent this to me, guys, and I hope this plays for y'all. Where is it at? Okay. Now what I'm doing right now, and let me know if you can see that, Rhonda. Can you see that, Rhonda?
Yeah, I could see that.
Is it too small?
No, I just thought I was going to see a video, but yeah, no, I was just reading
No,
the
no, no,
words.
no, no, no. The video is coming,
Oh,
guys.
okay.
When you look at this, guys, when you look at this, okay, this is what a hospice. I want y'all to go right here. All you got to do is type in hospice wife in Google. That's why I'm letting y'all see it, and y'all know Google got this new feature where the first results they give you is AI. Okay, so I want everybody to see this. A hospice wife is a woman. A hospice wife is a woman who marries a man in his later years to care for him. The man may not love the woman, but he may be looking for someone to help with his meals, medications, doctor visits, and emergencies. Round the band, you get that definition. What you thinking?
BS. I
Right?
know I can't say the word.
Well, you can't. You can't yet. You can't yet. We got to get past the 7-minute mark.
But no, I mean, again, just how disappointing. That's all. Just very, very disappointing because everything just seems to unfortunately, revolves around what a man needs instead of what they both need. And this is no different. I think a lot of women are in loveless marriages anyway, loveless relationships anyway. So this ain't like that ain't nothing new. You just put a title on it. Um,
But it doesn't start off that way, right? This, and I hate to say it, but this is what the relationship evolves to, guys. With all the medical problems in America, and one of the things you guys are going to see that I don't show you on this Google search is that this is kind of categorized with the passport bros setup, where guys are going overseas to have wives overseas. And ultimately, guys, I want everybody to see that marriage is under attack. I don't know how much more marriage can survive, if you will. Okay, if all of a sudden you telling men not to get married until 50 when they broken down, right? So now the woman is sitting there. Why would a woman take this deal? Because she's basically going to be somebody's caretaker for 20, 30 years, maybe. And then she'll probably get a big time medical payout. Right? Right? Ain't that what you're thinking? You just dating until he dies or married until he dies?
I think women should do that anyway. That's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because men typically don't live longer than women anyway. But no, I just think this is I don't know. For some reason, this just felt different. Um, it's like you getting your nurse without it being a professional person, or you're
Uh-huh.
getting maybe you ran across a woman or female who may want at an age and want to take care of somebody. So, ooh, let me do this
Mm-hmm.
since
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting older, or what have you. I don't know. I think you can go in so many different directions, which is why this was so interesting to me on
Yeah.
why someone would even want the label of hospice wife, um, and that a man has the audacity to have a hospice wife.
Well, and it's funny, Rhonda. I don't know if it's audacity.
What you
I don't know
think?
if it's audacity. I think what's happening with a lot of these home health nurses and all this kind of stuff. I think relationships are being bonded already. And now the person is connected more to his nurse than he is to his wife. Because the reason they've hired a nurse is because the wife can't take care of him. You see what I'm
No, see,
saying?
like to me, the video was saying like this guy basically just been living his best life all his life, not having to commit.
Absolutely.
But then once I reach a
Absolutely.
certain point, let me go ahead on and commit now since I'm on my way on the other side of the mountain type deal. So
Okay.
that's the
And
impression that I got. Even though no, I know there's plenty of women who got married young and
yep.
now they are hospice wives. Even though the
And
relationship won't hit on 2 cents to begin with, that's what it has
yep.
turned into. And you know they don't love them, but they gonna stay.
And guys, let's get into this video, right? Let's get into this video. And as y'all can see, this was posted back in May 25th. And basically, she's explaining that hospice wives are women who men marry in their later years solely to take care of them. While the men may not necessarily love these women, they seek someone who will assist with their medications, meals, doctor visits, and provide care in case of emergency. So hopefully, this video will play, and I can get you guys some volume. Hold on.
Yes. There's this term called
Sorry, guys.
found out just by doing this podcast. There's
Can you hear
this
that right?
term called hospice wife. So, right. So I'll give you how it is. Hospice wife. So a hospice wife, basically a man above 50, marries a woman. Finally, he's been playing the field for 50 years, and now he's ready to get married. His body is falling apart. He's got hypertension. He's got heart, the whole huge, or maybe the same. Only
Now, Ron, did you get that, or do I need to play it again? Did you get that, Ron, or do I need to play it again? Rhonda, did you get that, or do I need to play it again? Okay, guys, I might be having some audio issues, but I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play this again just so everybody can hear it.
When they get to 50, they start falling apart. I found out just by doing this podcast. There's this term called hospice wife. So, right. So I'll give you how it is. Hospice wife. So a hospice wife, basically a man above 50, married a woman. Finally, he's been playing the field for 50 years. Now he's ready to get married. His body is falling apart. He's got hypertension. He's got diabetes, heart issues, the whole nine. And now he's ready to get married and settle down. So now he marries a woman 10 years younger, or maybe in the same age group. And now he's married her, but only for him to have someone to take care of him in his later years.
Okay, Rhonda, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Rhonda? Okay, guys, I might have lost Rhonda, but what I'm going to say, let me stop sharing this. Let me stop. The article there said black men over 50. Now, that's what Rhonda was getting to earlier. Sorry, y'all, I had a little bit of an internet issue. But that's what Rhonda was getting to. This is very specific. Her video was black men. And I want you to understand that it's 50 years or older with specific medical conditions that are very common amongst black men. Now, Ronnie, can you hear me?
Yes. Now I
Okay.
can. Yeah.
That's what I thought was interesting. When I saw this. Black male over 50, heart conditions, and can't take care of yourself. These black men are being debilitated right at 50. And she said marrying somebody your age or maybe 10 years younger. Right? That video hit me because how many people are celebrating 50? And now you look up and say, okay, 50 means I need somebody to take care of me already. Jump in there, let me know what you're thinking.
Well, I mean, but she prefaced it with someone living their best life for 50 years or however many years. Like, so it ain't like, they may be
Mm-hmm.
in the best of health, right? Like, you know me and how I feel like certain ailments that people have is connected to certain emotions and how people feel about themselves. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people have hypertension and heart issues, especially diabetes. That's why it's a problem finding the drugs now, and people needing the other ones to help them um
Mm-hmm.
lose weight, right? And so, but for some reason, I personally, and again, I'm not married, don't proclaim to know anything about somebody's marriage and what they do, but I've never known of a man to take care of himself if he's in a relationship. They always leave it up to the wife to do certain things, make my doctor's appointments, do this, do whatever, whatever. So for me, I just think that's the typical, like, I think that's the majority of men, instead of whether they're 50 or whether they're 25 or what have you. That men always look to be taken care of, which led me to look up what's the role of a wife, because I'm like, maybe I'm lost. Maybe I am.
Okay.
Um, like not understanding, right? And so, and it is right to take care, to help or whatever, but I also feel like I have enough friends or people that I know that will also say that they do make their appointments for their husbands. They do certain things for them that I feel like a person should do for themselves if they have the capacity to do it. I'm not going to know when your yearly physical is, or the types of medicines you're on, or whatever the case may be. I think some things, like, you need to be able to take care of yourself. So unless your arms or something fell off, it's like, okay, take care of yourself. I already got these kids.
Now the question is he bringing any kids along at age 50? Does he have
Uh,
some baby mamas and that kind of thing?
he may have. I don't know. But it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like it's like, ooh, let me do all. It's just like how people get saved late in life, right? Ain't no different. People try to get saved. They done all the dirt and killed everybody they want to kill and stole everything. And then they're like, oh, I repent. I want to get all of God's grace and glory and mercy and all that good stuff. That's just
Well,
what
well,
it feels like to me.
well. I got to say this to y'all, right? I got to say this to
Yeah.
y'all. Rhonda just asked. Rhonda just said. So she looked up the role of a wife in a marriage, guys. And this is interesting because we're talking about a hospice wife. And I'll be honest, prior to Rhonda texting me yesterday, I never heard of that. I never heard of a
Me
hospice
either.
wife, right? So all of my life, I heard get married early, right? I ain't never heard nobody say get married late. So I want y'all to see this because I'm gonna share my screen real fast. Rhonda says she researched what's the role of a wife in a marriage. So I'm coming over here with y'all right now.
Mm-hmm.
Rhonda, let me know if you can see this.
Mm-hmm. It's tiny,
Now,
but I
guys,
see the title. I know you're gonna read it though.
this is Google. I just did Google.
Mm.
What's the role of the wife in the marriage, right? Rhonda just said that, right? Guys, I would just read the numbers. Be a helper to your husband.
X.
Right now, clearly, this is the first article on Google, guys. I ain't know it was gonna be religious. I ain't know it was gonna be Bible. This is the first
Is that
article.
what
So
that's
clear,
saying?
clear.
Is it referring it? Is it referring to the
Yes,
Bible? Oh, okay.
yes. It said it's important for us to look clearly at what the Bible says on this subject, and while the Bible doesn't apply our modern word role to marriage, the scriptures are clear about the unique responsibility God assigns to a wife. And also, she said what should be the husband's role in marriage. That's another article out there. Okay, a wife's responsibility can be properly understood only in the context of loving servant leadership by her husband. Now, this is crazy, guys. This is the first link. If you Google the role of a wife in marriage, this website came up. Randy just said it. So I said, let's see what it says. Be a helper to your husband. While all of us are called to be helpers to others, the Bible places a special emphasis on responsibility for wives. It tells us
Can I
God
can I
realized it
say
wasn't
something?
good for a man to be. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick before you get real deep in this?
Yeah.
If we're gonna go with this particular article, and when they're talking about husband, um, it's the husband that's the head of the house, not the man. You know how they say, "Oh, he the man of the house." Man don't have no authority in your house. The husband is
Okay.
the one with the authority. Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Rhonda checking y'all out here. She wasn't talking to me. But but basically, be a helper, right? We're gonna go to number 2. Respect your husband, right? Right? Wife must respect her husband, right? Self-confidence in his personhood as a man He needs to be listened to. You need to give him companionship. He needs to feel needed. Number 3, love him. Right? Love him. Number 4, submit to the leadership of your husband. And
Not
some of y'all got to
man. Not
understand,
man. Not man.
but some of y'all got to understand, if your husband is not a leader, it's going to be hard to submit to him. Okay? Just because you have a husband doesn't mean he's a leader. Okay? And that's one of the hardest parts about people. This is why a lot of people don't understand with marriage what this man is bringing to the table in hospice. Let me see if it's another one before I keep going. Okay, I ain't gonna read how it all fit together. I just wanted y'all to see. That article. That's the first list, and I think it's interesting, guys, that if you get with him, if a man comes to a woman in his 50s when he got these ailments around her, and now he wants you to be the hospice wife, what y'all got to understand is he's giving you a role to play. He's giving you a role to play. More than likely, the one thing I wish she would have addressed, and maybe I need to go watch the whole thing and just instead of the Instagram clip, how much is the woman getting paid to do that?
Maybe she getting paid in penis. I don't know. She getting paid in penis?
Well, it's possible. I guess what I'm saying to you is, I doubt that this woman is not getting a nice allowance every month. If you're a hospice wife, you getting a lot. Here's what I think is happening. And again, this is just Jeff speculating. I think you getting a nice allowance every month. I think you get to have a life outside of that house because you're doing this. Because more than likely, if he needs you to do all this, ain't nothing physical happening anyway. You see what I'm saying? With the diseases that she talking about, Rhonda, you the healthcare professional on the panel. With the disease she talking about, ain't much going to be going on. So I think this woman is getting an allowance, and I think this woman has a hall pass to go out and do what she want to do, as long as she's there to provide those medical services for her. What do you think when you hear me say that?
I mean, maybe in a perfect world, but probably not. Like when you think
You don't think so?
blood pressure, that's gonna affect how often you could perform in an intimate setting. You got diabetes, your circulation, your feet may be numb and infected, and all the things that come along with that. Depending on, or maybe you're in the beginning stages of it where it's not really where you can like perform or what have you, have an enlarged prostate, whatever the case may be. It could be a lot of stuff going on, but I think that would be in a perfect world. I don't know too many men who are prepared for that because they already have in their mindset that the woman is supposed to take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's put in men and little boys at a very young age, and what the role of a woman or a wife is supposed to be in their life.
Well, and I think that's what's causing the problem. And I think that's why I agree with this hospice wife concept. I agree with this hospice wife concept, and the reason I agree with it, Rhonda, is because some guys don't develop until later, right? Some guys can't put that. Some guys can't put that on the shelf and give up that lifestyle and decide to commit to one person. Some guys can't do it.
Well, we don't want it when it ain't working.
Well, you never know. Some women do, because they've been out there living that life too. See, this gonna take two people. You gotta have two women.
Most women are looking for commitment. Most women are looking for something serious at a very young age, depending on what
these women looking for money. These women looking for money now.
Everybody gonna look for money.
You looking at social media right now? Nobody's looking at marriage in the traditional sense of the word, right? And you guys got to remember, to all my listeners out there, again, like I said, this is kind of lumped into the passport bros. And when she specifically said black men, I'm interested to see the take if this is a white thing too. So,
well, they don't deal with those type of ailments like that on such a level as certain ethnic groups.
Yeah, they do.
It's different type of stressors. They may have it, but probably not to that extent.
Well,
unless you don't have access.
And again, I think that what this comes down to is, do you think it's a good option? And I think for a lot of guys, and I think for a lot of girls, this gonna cut down the divorce rate quick. Because now because guess what? What if you marry this man and he's got this mentality that he shouldn't settle down until after 50, Rhonda? Now you done married him at 23. That marriage is gonna be rocky.
All marriages are rocky.
And I agree, but now
I know someone, she dating somebody that she likes, and I mean, in the beginning, man, she was looking fabulous. Now you just like, who is this?
Mm-hmm.
right? But he broke down, like his health declined drastically after
Mm-hmm.
they started dating seriously. Once they put that label on that relationship, so maybe hospice wife is the best label for it instead of a relationship,
And
instead of
that's
husband
what
and wife, because it won't. Maybe it won't. It's already gonna get torn down anyway. Because
absolutely.
hospice
My point,
means
hospice mean it ain't gonna last
automatically
much
death.
longer.
Yes.
Yeah, hospice it
Give
ain't
me
gonna
my
last much
check. Give me
longer.
my insurance check. You better have
That's
some type of coverage.
and Rhonda, that's what I like about this because it's clearly defined what your role is.
You just gotta
Now,
wait
what
for
I
that
just
joker to
read
die.
you, but I just read to y'all that article, and that ain't happening in people's marriages, man. That ain't happening in people's marriages,
But no love, no
right?
respect, no
Well, yeah,
no
like that ain't
helping.
happening. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. If church attendance is down, how is that happening in most marriages? Because you need somebody or a system to reinforce that. So the reason why I like the hospice wife is you don't hear nothing about love. And why? Because most people got talk love wrong. What I like about this hospice wife thing is both parties acknowledge what it is. When you in your 20s and you in your early ages getting married, y'all don't talk about what it is. You just like each other. You riding this emotional high. This guy letting you know, man, I got every disease I can possibly have. Prostate swelling, blood pressure,
Mm.
cholesterol, diabetes, heart disease, right? I got all these things. I need you to get
Kidney
in some
issues.
kidney
Mm-hmm.
issues, right? I need you to just do all this stuff for me. And I think that's what I like about it. I ain't saying I agree with it. I'm just saying that if we got to start recognizing social media has changed the game, Ron. Ain't nobody looking to live a fairy tale. People out here in these streets. People out here in these streets, dog. And when you
Mm-hmm.
out here in these streets, I'd rather for you to get it out of your system. And if they talking about 50 years old for a black man, I can see that. And if the woman understands what it is, but see, because my perspective is, I think she's allowed to have another life outside of that as long as she takes care of his medical. Now, Rhonda, if she's allowed to have another life outside of that with that allowance that he's given her, how do you feel about it then?
But then I think it's called something else, right? Like what we talked about on another podcast. What do we call the gold digger one? But they were called treasure. She's a treasure wife
Treasure
then,
wife.
I think. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I just because what I'm saying is it sounds like hospice wife, it doesn't sound like it's mutually beneficial. That's all I'm saying.
So what you
That it
said
just
is we
doesn't
need to
sound
find
like
out.
it.
You said we need to find out what is the woman getting in return other than just taking care of this man.
Absolutely. Because that's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds
Because
like.
what it sounds like this man has accumulated some money that he can actually afford to have her come in at
But
this
it'd be the
level. What's
brokest
gonna
jokers that'll want this though. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. I agree now. If you let your health get to this point, whether do you work out, you know, all these kind of things, right? So what's putting you in the position that you breaking down at 50 already? You like what's your dietary issues? What's your your workout,
Your mental
you
health.
know,
Mm-hmm.
mental health, all that. See, right, when I see this, and guys, just for my listeners, y'all get down in the comments, let me know what y'all think. But for my listeners, I think what we're seeing is a I think what we're seeing is a check being given or monetary stipend being given for this as well. That's what
Is
I
that because
think.
that's what you would do? Is that what that is? Is that
No,
where that's
well,
coming from?
if somebody's doing all that for a man right now, it's because they got access to that man's disability check, they power of attorney, or whatever, right?
Mm-mm.
Typically, the marriage like that, all the money flowing through the wife anyway. So does she actually control it or whatever? Right? See, what I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you is, if I have you doing all this for me, if I have you doing all this for me, I know there has to be some money exchanging hands. You ain't gonna come do this for free. Not at 50. Not with me at 50. Because what I see is hospice wife, sugar daddy. That's what I see. Again, that's why I'm interested to see if people gonna get down in the comments and say it. See and say what they think. But when I see a man having a younger woman doing this for him,
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing money exchange hands, and I'm seeing a woman who's allowed to do whatever she want to do as long as she's in the house to provide these services for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, it does.
So
Hold
guys,
on, I took on my throat.
so guys, that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. I'm not a the reason why I support this The reason why I support this is there's so many people that don't understand what they're doing in their 20s. Okay? Hopefully by the time you get to hopefully by the time this man get to the 50s, okay? Now, like I said, I don't think he gonna go for a woman his own age. I think he gonna
Yeah.
go for
He gonna go
a
for
20
somebody
or
younger.
30. I think he gonna go for a 20 or 30-year-old. And now I think, guys, if everybody has a defined role, because right now I'm gonna tell you like this.
Yeah.
I think with church attendance declining, marriage is pretty much an antiquated system. Because most marriages are rooted in a tradition that's rooted in religion or rooted in church, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now here we are with hospice wife. Now I just showed y'all the article that came up where Rhonda just said she had to look up what the role of the wife was. I just Googled that and that came up first, which
Yeah.
means
That didn't come up on my end.
Rhonda, I just put it in Google, right? I just put it in Google.
Well, I looked up
And
the term
look,
separately, so that's what I did. So.
oh yeah. But either way, right? Either way, for the sake of this podcast, that's what I got. One of the things y'all didn't hear with this hospice wife, you'll hear nothing about no Bible. You'll hear nothing about God. You'll hear nothing about Jesus. You'll hear nothing about submission. You'll hear nothing about that. You got a defined role that's based on tangible stuff that ain't hard to figure out, that ain't open to two different interpretations. Because if I grew up missionary Baptist and you grew up AME, guess what we debating over? We debating over Bibles, right? We debating over tenets, right? Jump in there, right? Let me know what you think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I could see if somebody was Catholic and then somebody was missionary Baptist, that would be an issue.
No,
But
even still, if you come from, if I'm Pentecostal,
mm-hmm.
and if you missionary Baptist and I'm Pentecostal, we fighting already, right?
Well, yeah, that's
Because
true. So
missionary,
that's one.
right?
They're both stern in their own way, but one, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It's just both of them are interesting.
And one of the things I want everybody to take away from this podcast on my end, the reason why I agree to it, because I think when church attendance is down and less people are identifying spiritually or identifying a higher power deity that they worship, I like this. Because it's laying out. Hey, it's happening later in life for the man. You got a man that's willing to stay in the house.
Well, he
But
can't. Where he gonna
clearly,
go? Where he
well,
gonna go?
that's my point though. But that's my point. You can't this
You want the
Ron,
man
let
to
me tell
stay
you
there
what.
by choice.
Ron, listen, no, he ain't gonna say that about yours now.
That's what
So
I'm
you
saying.
don't have
That's
to
why he gonna be
acknowledge
out in
this.
them streets until he can't go no
Right.
more.
He got to be in them streets, let him get it out of his system, right? Now, here's one thing I'd love to see. And again, I may have to go watch that whole podcast to see
Yeah,
what
I
she
said I'm
talked
gonna
about.
follow her. I'm gonna see if I can go follow her.
If you find it, Ronald, we need to come back and do a part two. Because one of the things I want to see is what's the makeup of this man. I know he's black. I know he got medical issues. College grad, high school grad, corporate
Probably
America.
fairly good looking.
Fair, yeah, at the end of the day, he probably don't look like he's sick,
Mm-hmm.
right? He probably don't look like he's sick. And when she said black man at 50, most black men can hide sickness better than anybody else, right? You don't find out till you get to the
Same.
house and you see the medicine cabinet, right?
Mm.
So I would love to know the mission profile of this man that can actually do this. But what I see is a man writing a woman a check, a young girl to just have on the side that's taking care of him. And I'm gonna tell y'all, I said this before in a previous podcast. Old dude at the gym, old white guy at the gym, was advising this guy. They were out there talking. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
man, you need to stop running these streets. You need to go ahead and settle down and get you a woman and get you one who gonna push your wheelchair.
Mm.
And I never
Off the
forget it because
cliff.
I go to the right, that's the first thing I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking misery, right? When
You
she
were
pushed
thinking
him,
too.
when she pushed him down the damn step.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought about was this is what I'm saying, get somebody who can push your wheelchair. And maybe running this hospice wife thing is more common and it's just coming to the black community. Maybe some of these relationships we see that the woman is walking right next to the man with his oxygen
Mm-hmm.
tank and his wheelchair and all this stuff. Maybe this is a concept that's already been out there and we just didn't know what it was.
They gave it
What do you
a
think about that?
label. Yeah, they gave it a label because it's always existed. If we're gonna be honest about it, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
why you have the generation that's before us, our parents' generation, that they stay through whatever. They stay through
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff that can't, like what they probably got married very young. And then if we think
Yep.
about our grandmother's generation, they probably did get married at 15, 16, right?
14, yeah, 15, yeah.
And so you did all, but you had back then you had to do that, right? It
Yes.
wasn't until our generation where stuff started just losing its way with a lot
You
of
just you just preach.
what's
You
that?
just preach, right? Laws were different back then. Laws were different. And slave labor, right? Manual labor, all that stuff. So you had to get married early so you can pop out those kids because, and one of the things that people don't realize is the reason we get married early is because the parents don't want to keep that bill. So you got to get your kids out of the house, get them married off so you can try to live your days better than you did in your early days.
Now, real quick, how old were you when
Yeah.
you got married? Now I'm trying to think about my people who I know.
Woo.
How old were you when you got married?
I got married in 2006, which would make me. I was born in 77.
Well,
What would that
don't
make
tell on
me?
your business. I don't know.
Oh no,
Something.
they can tell by this gray on my chin. I would be 27 maybe. No, so 2006.
So roundabout.
Hold on, we're gonna give you the answer now. 2006
You had to be 30
minus
something.
29. I was
Oh, okay.
29.
Okay.
I was 29. You were 30. Yeah, I'm telling all around the business
I
too.
know that like
Yeah, y'all for all y'all.
I'm
For
private
all,
for a reason.
no, I was 29.
Mm-hmm.
I was 29 in
Did you
2006.
feel like you were ready to get married and
Yeah,
you were in good health and all that good stuff?
absolutely. Guys, let me tell you this. The reason why I think this is good for black men. The reason why I think this is good for black men is because divorce and marital problems affect black men more than it affects any other race. Okay? Because the black man was emasculated more than any other man in American history, in world history for that matter. So it's hard for somebody to submit to a black man. And this is not a victimhood speech. This is just nobody has a harder time wanting to be a leader than a black man, right? And then the responsibilities with it. Because Kevin Samuels used to say something for all of y'all who listen to Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels told a girl once, I saw it on the Instagram reel, he said, all I want you to do is treat me like the white manager you got at work. And the black girl just sat there and said, that ain't happening. He was like, why not? She was like, well, first of all, my husband don't sign the front of my check. And one of the things I think that's happening around the reason why I think this is good is because at 50, more than likely a black man he might have his medical issues, but he gonna have the resources to be able to get that feeling that he wants. That's all I'm saying. That at 23, you fighting, scratching, clawing, right? You're fighting, scratching, and clawing, trying to figure out, okay, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna go get my master's? Am I getting my doctorate? Am I gonna go to corporate America? Am I gonna be a small business? Am I gonna be an entrepreneur? You trying to figure life out, and now you got a wife there, and you got a baby there. But what I like about this is we ain't talking about kids, we ain't talking about intimacy, we ain't talking about none of that. It is a clearly defined role. And the best part about it, guys, ain't no religion in it. Ain't no religion in it. The number one problem in all these relationships is religion. We gonna do a podcast on is church killing your relationship. The same place you going to get help is actually hurting it. We gonna do a podcast. We gonna do a podcast on that down the road. But was I ready at 29? Absolutely. I graduated in 4 years. I was 21 when I graduated. I'd already worked in corporate America. I had gone to many places. Yeah, at that point, I was completely ready to get married. But what a lot of guys don't get is a lot of guys aren't ready to get married. They're being forced to get married. Or they had a baby. Or they've done something traditional where you're not in control of it anymore. Right? So that's what my thoughts are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just feel like everybody's pressured to get married. I feel like that's a level of that for everybody. So
stop right there. Ryan just preached, guys. When I got married at 29, people were asking me what took so long. Like, how is it that I'm 29? When I'm 22, 23, people asking me why you ain't married yet. And one of the things y'all got to
Yeah. Yeah, because that's what it sounds like. And let's just be real. When you hear hospice, you think about the end of life, right? You think, oh, this person's like, we've been talking about this the past few weeks for what we got going on, but it's like, okay, so are you saying you're not going to be here? Are you saying it's not going to be, you're not going to be here too much longer? So you need this or you need that. And so it's hospice. Hospice is just an interesting word for this type of situation when that's not it. You just need to have someone there to support you. Welcome back.
Absolutely, and that's what. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm having internet issues over here. I don't know. I'm had to find me something else from Spectrum, but I think that
Can hear
that's why
anybody?
Rhonda. That's why. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Ron? So Brian, I'm having issues, but I think what you're going to find is you still on. I think what you're going to find is that what this is that I like the idea that marriage is happening later on. I like that idea, guys. Let me reload my stuff real fast. Hold on. Sorry about this. So yeah, guys, I like this. I like this idea. I like this idea of a clearly defined role that's not tied to anything like a traditional marriage is. But we bunk in the game. Sorry about that, Ron. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
Ron, what I was saying is, if you, what I was saying, I was trying to get my internet back up. I like this idea of getting married at 50 with a clearly defined role that ain't got nothing to do with religion, ain't got nothing to do with anything else. You know what you're here for. We know what we're here for. It's laid out up front. That's what it is. That's why I said he may not love you. I love that.
Hmm.
Jump in
Yeah.
there. Let me know what you're thinking.
I mean, you got a point. I won't looking at it from that standpoint because again, I'm coming from the woman's perspective of always being put in a position to take care of someone else other than herself.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep. Yep.
and here we go again, with that same type of concept. To continue to take care of someone who necessarily can't even really do anything back for her. And I don't agree with that concept of always pouring into somebody else and no and that person is there's no reciprocation at all. So
If some of y'all are more immersed in this subject than us, get down in the comment section and let us know if part of this setup is that the woman gets to have another life where those needs can be met by somebody else since he can't provide those. Right? Because if you need somebody to give you medication and all that, they ain't doing nothing else for you. This appears to be one sided. That's why I think it's important to know what's the benefit. Is she giving up her life to do this, or is this really like a CNA type thing that's coming by the house? You
hmm
know, that kind of thing. I'd love to know that, Ronnie, because I think that's the best part about this. I like this concept, and honestly, I can see somebody who got married early in their late teens, early 20s, get divorced, get back out in them streets, and then this will be their second marriage. And one of the
or
things y'all
third.
got to understand, right? One of the things y'all got to understand is stop expecting women to do these domesticated duties for free. It's one of the biggest things that's ruining marriages right now.
And
You don't think
only
a woman?
that's only because you're gonna see that. Yeah, the love or help him. Help him what? He could help himself. But again, I'm not married.
Random, I got a reel sent to me. I was gonna put it up here. I was gonna put it
Hmm.
up here on this podcast, but I didn't. I got a reel sent to me that said, "Why would a man want to get married?" His mama has taught him how to cook and clean. Now, his mama has taught him how to cook and clean, and if he's single, women are just laying down for her. Why would he want to get married? And I can tell you like this: when you look at this hospice wife thing, okay, this may make him want to get married because basically he's just hiring his in-home nurse. And for guys who want somebody to serve them physically, and a lot of guys don't understand when you're submitting to a person, you're not submitting to them physically. You're submitting to the things that people can't see. And that's why I like that article said you're submitting to the leadership of your husband. Well, if y'all married guys who are not a leader, there ain't nothing to submit to. And a lot of y'all married these guys who aren't leaders just so you can run all over it. Well, now he trying to escape. He trying to escape. So I just thought it was interesting around it because honestly, man, I just agree with the concept. I don't agree with the concept. I don't agree with the concept if love is involved, if religion is involved, if the traditional tenets of marriage is involved. But honestly, at 50, you get the money to pay her, right? You running through these streets, right? You need somebody to take care of you now.
But the
I ain't got
vows,
no problem
the
with it.
vows are going to be biblical in sickness and in health, for better for worse. Oh, if you're going to get married, a hospice wife.
Rhonda, I don't think this. I don't think they're getting married. I think this is a civil union. I think this is an agreement.
You
I
got to
think
do
this
what's
is
going to
just a
hold
private
up
agreement.
in your state. You got to do what's going to hold up and be honored in
Absolutely,
your state.
absolutely. But I think the woman is doing to get a life insurance policy or to get access to the disability check. You see what I'm saying? I don't think they're going through a traditional marriage. I think that's why it's called hospice wife. Just like passport bros don't actually go over there and go through a ceremony or go sign any paperwork. It's just an individual agreement between two people.
Mm.
They're not using the form. They're not using the formal government system to canonize this thing,
Right.
right? So I think that's why I like it because this is just this man. This man is gonna say, "Look, I'm gonna take care of you with this, this, and this." It's gonna be an agreement between two people. Ain't nobody gonna know the rules but them. Ain't nobody gonna know the obligations but them. What typically I see in situations like this, though, is that the person's gonna be on a person's gonna be on disability. He's gonna be getting a disability check. He's gonna be passing it on to her. He's gonna be getting her gifts. He's gonna be letting her do whatever she want to do, as long as she's there. As long as she's there to take care of him. But I don't think there's a formal marriage that's taking place.
Mm-hmm.
And what is it? I saw Instagram reel, guys, and Ron and I'll get ready to get out of here. But I saw Instagram reel where Dr. Umar was like 80% of divorced women are a side piece for married men. Now, Rhonda, that's a podcast we got to get into. 80% of divorced women are a
Mm-hmm.
side piece for married men.
Again,
And
somebody else's man is not your man.
What Dr. Umar said, and hopefully, y'all know who Dr. Umar is, but what he said is there's not one country that's rooted in monogamy in reality. It's rooted in monogamy on paper, but it's not rooted in monogamy in reality. And he was like, all these women, they agree with polygamous relationships. They just don't want to be accountable for it. So why divorce a man because he was cheating to go be the side piece to a married man? But it was a good. I'm gonna send you the video around there if I can find it again, and we're gonna have to jump on that because I think this is what's fueling guys. This is what's fueling some of this hospice wife stuff, passport bros stuff. Yes, all these alternative relationships to marriage because I think marriage is done. I think marriage gonna go the way of the landline. Why? Because the government already saying civil unions are being recognized. Private private agreements between two people are being recognized. I don't see marriage. I don't see marriage being valid within the next 35 to 50 years. Jump in there, Ryan. Let me know what you think.
Well, I mean, I personally, I think it's always going to be valid just because of the Bible and how people go interpret what they want the Bible to say. I think it's always going to have some relevancy. it may be less and less people doing it, but there's
Yes.
still going to be reverence for it just because it's in the Bible that they're reading, how they're interpreting
It's
what marriage is.
it's so funny, guys, and Rhonda, it's so funny, guys, that one of the things you guys are going to see is my GoPro just turned on for some reason. I don't know why, but one of the things, I don't know what the hell is going on in my studio tonight.
It's something going on.
But the reason why I'm telling y'all right now, what I'm saying is the marriage right now has no benefit. And I'm gonna tell y'all something that shocked me. When I graduated college in 1999, when I first got my corporate benefits package, if you wanted to, you could not add a family member to your insurance policy unless you had a spouse and a child, right? Well, fast forward, you can put anybody on your insurance now. It used to be y'all had to be married, had to be a child. It used to be if you wanted to add a beneficiary to life insurance and all that stuff, it had to be blood. Not anymore. And Rhonda, that's why I'm trying to tell you this separation of church and state is getting more and more wider. And at the end of the day, what's the benefit of marriage? What's the benefit of marriage? Especially when you're starting to see these alternatives. And that's my concern. And with church visits going down, you look at all these churches and these scandals that's happening in these churches, pastors messing with the kids, pastors sleeping with the members, all this stuff that's happening. What's there to hold marriage up? And nothing is there. So I like this hospice wife thing because you're going to have your disagreements when the man old. Old man don't fight. Old man don't fight. Old man just want to sleep for 18 hours out of the day. Right? Rhonda, what's your closing thoughts for the night?
This got to grow on me. I still need more information. Again, I just need women to win. I need Black women to win. And since that's how she prefaced it in that reel, I'm like, yeah, man, I just need women to benefit too from the relationships that they're in, no matter what circumstance it is. But if a woman is all for it, then go ahead and do that. But yeah, but I'm sure it's going to become popular.
And one of the things I would tell you guys is, my closing argument is simple, man. I don't like it because I'm anti-marriage. I like it because I'd rather have somebody do that and be committed than to not do anything at all. Right? And I'm seeing these alternatives to marriage are popping up left and right, alternatives around to the traditional marriage. Popping up left and right. And people are defining their relationships within the two parties that's involved instead of trying to adhere to something that was in place back in the 1700s when your ancestors were slaves and that kind of thing. And I think that it's just interesting that more and more people are getting away from tradition. We talk about that all the time. And my biggest takeaway is do what works for you. Right? And y'all know some women like those men that's been running these streets. Some women like bad boys and all this kind of stuff. And then y'all got some women who are caretakers, man. And they like to do this. It doesn't make you less of a woman if you're a caretaker versus if you're a trophy wife, right? Whatever works for you. Now, what we gonna do, y'all? Well, you can find this guy on social media and find some more about this article and give us some more details on the profile of the man and the profile of the woman. Because clearly this thing is a good topic that we're gonna have to come back and discuss more, because I don't think this is going away. And let me tell you why. And I know I'm kind of rumble around it, but let me tell you why. Everybody is dealing with this sickness and disease. And everybody propped up on the medications and that kind of thing. And people hate the medication. People hate having to take medication.
Take it if you need it.
Right? But now you need to have somebody there with you, because the one thing you never planned on was taking these medications. And these diseases are debilitating. They take a lot out of you. So you want a strong support system.
Are debilitating.
Yes, absolutely, right. So I think it's interesting that it's tied to these medical conditions that's been handed down from generation to generation, and that's why I like it, man. And y'all know what it is. It's Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Again, I'm the real Cigar Jeff. Get down in the description, man. Support the channel. Get the merch. Follow me on the socials, man. Y'all get down in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, man. Is Ron and Jeff crazy? Or they own to something? If you hadn't already, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notifications. Ron, and let me know your follow on the socials.
On IG at RMB
Man, again, y'all know where I'm at. I'm on IG. I'm on Facebook. Y'all follow me over there. And until next time, we gonna holler.